Brothers, today we are talking about Haste. Haste can be a really good thing, man. You're running through the grocery store, you're buying $247 worth of pudding. Haste is necessary, beyond necessary at that point. If you're making sweet romance with your wife, or even my wife, dude, that's when you cast Haste aside. Take your time, brother. Now we are talking about Neriv, Heart of the Storm, the sweet dragon, sweet build around from Dragonstorm Tarkir, buddy. We're going to talk about it. We're talking Mardu. But first, you gotta subscribe to the channel, buddy. This is Better Commander, dude. This is where it all goes down, man. We've got a Discord. We're in the Stalwarts Cavort. We got a Patreon where the dudes desire decks, and we've got members below. I love all you guys so much. Man, would you take a look at this beautiful card? This is Neriv, Heart of the Storm, or Neriv. I don't know, dude. And guess what? I don't care. I'm gonna say how I'm gonna say it. 1 red, white, and a black. Legendary creature, Spirit Dragon. It's a 4/5, has flying. If a creature you control that entered this turn would deal damage, it deals twice that much damage instead. Scales, streaked with lightning, trailing thunder in his wake. Neriv is the living banner around which the Mardu rally. This card is awesome, man. We got a couple mechanics we're going to dive into, but I like to start these videos talking about the creature types. We have Spirit, probably not super salient here, but Dragon is one of the best things you can be, man. When somebody names something the Dragon, you know it's the best thing, right? There's a soundbar called the Nakamichi Dragon. It's a monstrosity. They called Bruce Lee the Dragon. Sometimes they call Nikki G the Dragon when I show up in my Speedo, brother. Just kidding. Don't cancel me, dude. So you can build a deck and just slap in about 10 haste enablers, but listen, man, I'm gonna give you the benefit of my experience here. Agnes the Dragon's Lash, take a look at this card, has haste. Whenever a creature you control with haste attacks, create a tap treasure token. I built this deck, but I found it better just to rely on hasty creatures. There are plenty in Mardu colors, and we're gonna go over a few in a bit. Now Agnes specifies haste. Let's take a closer look at that Neriv's abilities. So check this out, man. This card does not specify combat damage. Pretty ubiquitous card in Commander, the Inferno Titan. This is a big old 6/6 for 6 mana. Has red, it gets +1/+0 until end of turn. And whenever this creature enters or attacks, it deals 3 damage divided as you choose among 1, 2, or 3 targets. This guy entered this turn, right? And he's dealing damage. Despite the fact that this is a great card, it gets greater with Neriv. And now we're thinking a whole different direction, dude. Makes a card like Combustible Gear Hulk a little more threatening. Say you turn over 6 mana bomb and a mana rock and a land, you know? That's 16 damage with Neriv out there, dude. They'll give you the cards. You know, you're holding them hostage, man. If you wanted to lean into enters the battlefield effects, white has access to a lot of blink to reuse those damage effects. And even with hasty creatures, you can blink them with Ephemerate, Cloud Shift to get that double damage trigger again. You also have Mass Blink, but most of that brings them back at the end step like Eerie Interlude. That's not going to help you with your hasty creatures, brother. And aside from Boots and Greaves, which are great in pretty much any deck due to their strong protection, we want hasty creatures, not so much the enablers like Fervor and stuff like that. And man, there are some bangers with haste, brother. How about the Goldspan Dragon out there? This thing's a pretty expensive card. 5 mana creature dragon, 4/4 flying and haste. Whenever it attacks or becomes the target of a spell, create a treasure token. Treasures you control have tap, sacrifice it, add 2 mana of any one color. Probably want a commander with a treasure creating ability to pay $7 for this, but this is a hell of a card, man. And about $6 for this Boros Angel, you have Aurelia the War Leader. So this is going to be 6 beautiful mana. 2 of it's got to be red, 2 of it's got to be white. Can't cheat that, brother. Legendary Creature Angel, it's a 3/4, has flying, vigilance, and haste. Whenever it attacks for the first time each turn, untap all creatures you control. After this phase, there's an additional combat phase. Where Razia was aloof and untouchable, Aurelia is on the front lines calling for war, brother. Alright, now this is an interesting interaction right here. You have Kiki Jiki. Everybody loves Kiki Jiki, man. It's 5 mana, 3 of it's gotta be red. Legendary creature Goblin Shaman has haste, has tap, create a token that's a copy of target non-legendary creature you control, except it has haste. Sacrifice it at the beginning of the next end step. This guy has haste. Great. Who cares, man? This makes a token, dude. Neriv's ability doesn't need it to be non-token, just a creature. Absolutely brutal. Kiki Jiki just goes and goes, man. This should be a game changer. You know, this should be classified as a game changer, this Kiki Jiki. Because I know I see it and it's a pants changer, dude. I gotta change my underwear when I see Kiki Jiki come down. It's usually a big combo coming. Now, of course, Neriv can benefit from its own ability. It doesn't say another creature, but it needs haste, and this little banger is going to get you there. Chainer, Nightmare Adept. He's not a chainmare, dude. It's 2 black and a red, legendary creature, human minion. It's a 3/2. Discard a card. You may cast a creature spell from your graveyard this turn. Activate only once each turn. Whenever a non-token creature you control enters, if you didn't cast it from your hand, it gains haste until your next turn. Well, you know where ain't your hand, dude? It's the command zone. Also, discard that stupid Inferno Titan, right? Cast it, and now in addition to dealing double ETB damage, it's got haste and can swing in with that juice. As noted with Aurelia above, extra combats are bonkers with Neriv. If she comes in, swings in, Aurelia I mean, still gets that trigger off Neriv, dealing double damage the next combat as well. So you're banging in with some hasty flyers, some hasty dragons, while they dealt double damage. Now what, man? They sit there, indolent loats out there? No, you gotta reuse them. Say you bang in with a Thopter token off Loyal Apprentice, which is also a pretty awesome card. What time is it, brother? It's Ninjutsu time. Unfortunately, there aren't too many Ninjutsu cards in these colors. Probably want to keep your cards out there because most of the good ones are a little bigger, like Rankle Master or Prankle with his Pringle feet. How about this one, though? If we're going to go with a ninja, how about Orochi Soul Reaver? 5 and a black, creature snake ninja rogue. It's a 5/4, has ninjutsu for 3 and a black. Whenever one or more creatures you control deal combat damage to a player, create a treasure token and manifest the top card of that player's library. I do love some theft mechanics, dude, and this card has been on my radar since day one, and we're going to talk about it. And that's the Furbolg Flutist, dude. 4 red, creature giant bards, 4/4, has enthralling performance. Just like Nicky G, dude, when I used to do those movies back on the P-Hub. When this creature enters, gain control of target creature you don't control until end of turn. Untap it, gains haste and myriad until the end of turn, man. So those myriad tokens, in addition to any ETB effects you get off of this, are going to deal double damage, dumb damage if Neriv is down. And that's pretty mean, man. Duke Older is another one. Even though this guy's 6 mana, say you myriad another one of those damn Inferno Titans. That's a lot of damage, dude. I can't even generate that kind of math. Yeah, Myriad's really good with the Neriv, man. Myriad's a pretty awesome mechanic in the first place. That Duke Older, don't sleep on that guy. He's got that bald head out there. It's going to headbutt you right in the nuts, man. So you have a thing about damage doublers. You want to get with Gisela, Bladed Gold Knight. 7 mana, legendary creature, angel. It's a 5/5. Has flying and first strike. If a source would deal damage to an opponent or a permanent an opponent controls, that source deals double that damage to that permanent or player instead. If a source would deal damage to you or a permanent you control, prevent half that damage rounded up. This card is fantastic. It's a damage doubler and a damage haver if it's coming your way. It's pretty dope for $1.43. And listen, man, if you're going to double damage and then you double it again, that's 4 times the damage, man. That's mathematics, brother. Check this card out, man. This thing is about 40 cents or so. The Fiendish Duo. If you're going to double damage, then you're going to double it again, man. 4 red, creature devil. It's a 5/5, has first strike. If a source would deal damage to an opponent, it deals double that damage to that player instead. Half the size, double the mayhem. Love this card for 45 cents. Neriv is pretty powerful, man. Not surprising because that's what a dragon is. Is it a secret myriad commander? Is it a secret ninjutsu commander? Is it a secret haste commander? Is it a secret ETB and blink commander? These are all very powerful things to do in commander, and you have great colors to do them in. You can mix and match, man. Or you can just go with some dragons, some hasty dragons out there. Dragons are power incarnate. Dragons are the avatars of power, brother. Some of us are dragging our knuckles. Some of us are dragging our pieces around, brother. And that's better commander, dude. Nicky G, signing off.